We'll be ready. Starting lineups in the first pitch are coming right up, but we have
welcome to Sylvan Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Play that funky music, white boy. Welcome to Disco Night, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit sylvanlake.ca. Jim Claggett, I am Kale Clark here with you in the Gulls Nest broadcast booth as we are very excited to bring this one for you. Another matchup between the Lethbridge Bulls and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. This will be the final matchup between these two teams this regular season, as the Sylvan Lake Gulls will then have their hands full with Energy City tomorrow night and then home games against the Okotoks Dogs to wrap up the regular season. But a big game in front of them here tonight as they got to focus now getting back into the win column after taking a 4-2 bump to the chin last night against the Lethbridge Bulls, and it wasn't necessarily the night that the Gulls wanted. It was a great game, but then one inning that just kind of got away on them in the seventh.
Well, and that's usually what happens when you get down to the nitty-gritty here. The playoffs are just around the corner. You can see them, in fact, coming around the corner. And that happens. Good teams will take advantage of a mistake. We've said that over and over again, and that's exactly what happened last night. And I talked to Matthew McKenzie about the throw that he made after an outstanding off the heel into his hand, and he says, I rushed it. I rushed it. And so it happens.
Well, when you make a play like that, the adrenaline that must be running through his body after making something like that happen, and then he's probably like, oh, and you kind of panic and you throw it. And I can totally see how that could easily happen for anybody making an unreal play like that. But we take a look at that seventh inning, and what happened really, the biggest difference was too many walks, hits batsmen, just things he can't do on the mound.
As a team, I'm pretty sure they got the lectures that you got to focus. You got to be focused at this time of year. If you're not, there's something's going on that you need to pull yourself back and say, hey, wait a minute, baseball first right now, because we got to get the right mindset, I guess.
And you got to get in that mindset of playoff baseball.
Yeah.
And I think they got to treat this as a playoff game, as this could be, very well could be, the first round matchup to see the Western Division semifinals. As we take a look at your starting pitcher, speaking of somebody that's been dialed in as of late, that has been just all about baseball, Josh Tucker has been playing absolutely incredible in the last 2 starts he has gotten, as he had a 12 strikeout performance in the second last game that he started, and then a 14 strikeout performance, combined of 26 strikeouts in the last 2 starts. He is red hot, and the Gulls are going to need him to continue that here tonight.
And he will be setting an example for all these other pitchers that are in the bullpen, watching him work. And they learn from each other, and you can definitely learn from this guy who, like we always say, he went from in the mid-90s and a fireballer, and then he got a little arm issue and came back, and then when he came back, he could hardly get 85 on the radar gun, and then he started slowly increasing that, and now he's in his mid-90s, or low 90s, I should say, and he's the strikeouts are proof that he's got other pitches than the fastball.
It was a slow start for Josh Tucker, but he has definitely found his game again. Here's who he's going to face against the Lethbridge Bulls. The starting lineup: Bernie Sakaris, Lee Matsuzaki, Carter Calero, the 1-2-3 batters, and then you got Jack Kaliski, the DH, Steven Adderchick, second base, Brendan McTavish, center field, Luke Wheatley at third, Ben Simmons catching, and the guy that was defensively a juggernaut, J.C. Spinoza, the shortstop, rounding out the batting order for the Lethbridge Bulls, as we get a close view again of Josh Tucker. And like I said, it was a slow start for him. This will be his 9th start of the summer. He's got over 28 innings of work. He's got 47 Ks on the year. He's given up 33 hits, 16 runs, only 12 of which were earned. So we'll see what he has in store tonight. The last 2 starts have been electric.
And he'll bring what he's got tonight to the mound against Bernie Sakaris to lead things off. Sakaris, the left fielder for the Lethbridge Bulls. And Tucker's inside. The count 1-1.
Well, and as you mentioned, with Josh Tucker setting an example for these younger guys in the dugout, the last 2 games that he did start pitching that the guys from the dugout watch carried on his work for the rest of the night. They picked up where he left off, and they kept the Ks coming. And it's just a great recipe for success if you can get a good start from your pitcher.
Yeah, and that's it. You keep it going. The ball gets rolling downhill, and it's hard to stop, right? 2-1 the count on Sakaris. Lee Matsuzaki is on deck. And that's fouled out of play. Another night of warm temperatures, some sunshine for the next little while. We'll see what happens later. But Josh Tucker starts off with a strikeout. Imagine that, and a strikeout looking, which is even better. So that means he's got something going right now.
Well, and just to add a little cherry on top, too, in case you need it, he's also got a strikeout going against the #1 batter in all of the league right now. That's leading in batting average. And, we saw Bernie Sakaris last night. He had a very successful night at the plate as well. So not an easy guy to get that strikeout, and especially strikeout looking.
So Lee Matsuzaki, the right fielder, steps in to face Josh Tucker. Connor Jocelyn is the home plate umpire tonight, and the rest of his crew, the crew chief over at first, Ron Shuchuk, and down at third base is Lonnie Smith.
Not a lot of umpires that we get to see here at Gulls Field. Some new faces to Gulls Field that we don't get to see on a very nightly basis. Ron Shuchuk, we've seen a couple times.
Yeah, we've seen him before.
As far as Connor Jocelyn and Lonnie Smith, you don't see them as often around these parts. So good to see a whole new set of umpires here tonight.
That's true. 2-1 the count now. And Josh Tucker hoping to do something to send a message to the Lethbridge Bulls that he'll be facing me in the playoffs. And they check down at third baseline, and Lonnie Smith says no, he did not go. So the count now 3-1.
Well, and here's another point to take into consideration. Josh Tucker chasing a personal milestone here tonight, as he is only, now with that K on the fence already tonight, he's 11 Ks away from reaching strikeout number 300.
In his WCBL career.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that includes playoffs. I'm thinking. We were just talking about that. Graham Schutzel and I were just talking about it. He said, because he did have that big strikeout game against Brooks in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
But he walks Lee Matsuzuki here after striking out Bernie Sakaris. He gives a walk up to the number 2 hitter in Matsuzuki. And that'll bring up first baseman Carter Clairhout from Red Deer, Alberta. 25-minute drive to our east, depending on who's driving, I guess. For me, it's 25 minutes. For you, it's what, 18?
From my place to here? I'm trying to look at the Ks right now, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm being sarcastic. Everybody passes me on the highway.
Oh, I see. 18 minutes, yeah.
2-0 the count on Clairhout. The designated hitter, Jack Kaliski, he is on deck. But after opening strikeout, Josh Tucker is, there we go. I was going to say having trouble finding the strike zone, but no, he says, Jim, be quiet. Here's a strike for you. 2-1 now. Top of the first inning, Lethbridge and Sylvan Lake tied in the standings. And a check swing there. They're going to check, and nope. The third base coach for Lethbridge says, nope, he didn't go. That's a trip. I don't think you want to ask him. You know where his allegiances will be, but I think it was marked up there as a strike.
Well, and here's the story. Carter Clairhout just informed me before the game that he signed another year with Bellevue University and almost an all-paid scholarship to go back for his master's in business for this upcoming season. So he
good
said,
for him.
He said it's pretty much free. He said all I have to worry about is my housing and a place to stay and the odd other little things here and there. But for the most part, his schooling has been paid for one more year to go for his master's.
Yeah, I know his parents are pretty happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're in BC right now. His grandma was here last night. His girlfriend is here tonight watching him. And
ooh, a called third strike there on Carter Clairhout. He was ready to trot down to first base, and
he's got a pretty good case. But
Tucker gets the call on that one, and that'll bring up the DH, Jack Kaliski. Runner over at first is Lee Matsuzaki. So you got Josh Tucker on the mound throwing to Trip Ray. And your left fielder, Brock Tiarina, then Kyle Lewis in the center, and Jaden Flores out in right field. That's fouled out of play. Anthony Gilbert and Aiden Macris on the corners in the infield, and then Ty Yukamoto and Cleary Simpson up the middle. And as mentioned, Trip Ray behind the plate. The other catcher is in the lineup tonight, Junior Garcia, but he's in there for his bat. Mm-hmm. And that bat spoke loudly last night with a very loud double. This is grounded down to third. Anthony Gilbert with the strong arm and a good stretch there over at first by Macris. And 4-up, 3-down inning, but shutout inning nonetheless. We are through the top of the first, and the Gulls are coming to bat.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected. Because it truly is. And it's all we think about. So you don't have to.
Starting pitcher tonight for the Lethbridge Bulls is another left-hander. Lefty versus lefty tonight. That is Brett Getz. And I don't know much about Brett Getz, other than that he's a lefty right now. But my partner has all the information that you need.
Sure do. Medicine Hat, Alberta kid. He goes to Eastern Arizona College. He's a freshman there. And so we take a look at what he has done so far this season. He's got 8 games under his belt. This will be his 8th start as a pitcher. Over 40 innings of work. He's got 42 strikeouts on the year, 2-1 win record. He's given up 37 hits, 26 runs, 16 earned. And this is the lineup he's going to face, as Tai Yukamoto, Jaden Flores, and Anthony Gilbert will be the 1-2-3 hitters. Aiden Macaris, as we mentioned, making his return to the lineup after missing a few games. And now that I think about it, Jim, I was watching him over there at first, and that's what reminded me of why we haven't seen Aiden Macaris in a little bit, because the last time we saw him, he kind of got clipped halfway through a game by a run, and his leg kind of got ran into, and so he had to leave that game and not return, and then he's been out the last few. So good to see him back in the lineup. I asked him yesterday, how's things? Are you injured? He's like, no, I'm not injured, but today I guess I kind of was, is how he put it. He was a little tight yesterday, so he said he was hoping to be in today, and sure enough, he is. So good to see him back.
I kind of was.
Yeah, that's kind of how he explained it. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't think he was trying to wanting to give me too much information.
Lower body injury.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
That kind of rules out a few things. Oh, inside. The call goes in favor of Getz. And the count now 2-2 on the Gulls' leadoff hitter, who last night led off with a solo home run over the right field wall.
He had a good game, too. And he goes down swinging there with a big swing.
Yes, he did have a good game, defensively and offensively. In fact, I think he was our player of the game, if my memory serves me correctly.
Your memory is correct so far.
So far, yeah. Give it time. Yeah. Give it time.
I just had to.
It'll fail.
Yeah, I had to. I'm sorry.
Trust me. Who are you again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Where am I?
Yeah. What am I doing here?
Yeah. This is a weird-looking soccer game.
People have asked that question many a time. I don't hear them, though. Jaden Flores comes in now to face Brett Getz. Flores has had a little bit of a dry spell with the bat. And I say little, I mean for him, having a couple of games where you don't get a hit is like a drought. 2-0 the count on Flores. We're so used to seeing him on base.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he did get on base once last night with the walk. And as you mentioned, 0 for 3 yesterday. So he's been a little quiet lately, but he'll get it going again. You know, Flores, he's one of those batters that won't stay quiet for too long.
No. He's got the regular cleats on tonight, not the bedazzled.
Yeah, he's kind of going back and forth between the two sets.
I bet, these guys are so superstitious. Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some aren't.
Oh, yeah.
But some of them are.
Competitive athletes, superstitious? No, that can't be right. Especially not if you're Matthew McKenzie. sitting in a certain spot in the
Yeah.
or in the bullpen or the dugout, wherever it was that he was sitting, that he
couldn't leave.
couldn't leave.
Matt Hape actually told me, you got to stay here. We scored in that inning. You got to stay right there.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to go up to the booth. Nope. Okay. And this is a couple of times now. Jaden Flores, last night the same thing. He thought he had a walk on a 3-2 pitch, and instead it's a called strike. And that was a little bit on the outside, but the call was made nonetheless, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Brett Getz. Anthony Gilbert steps in now to face Brett Getz. That misses outside for a ball. Brock Tiarina, the left fielder, is on deck for the Gulls. Bottom of the first inning, just underway here at Gulls Field at Pagato Park. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark here in FloCollege. Thank you for joining us. That misses up high. 3-0 the count now on Gilbert.
Let's quickly take a look at the defense for the Bulls. As we mentioned, Bernie Sakara is out in left field again. So is Brennan McTavish at center. Lee Matsuzaki will fill in at that number 9 position. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Anthony Gilbert. So the inning stays alive for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and that'll bring up Brock Tiarina, as you mentioned. So the 2-out rally in play here.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Brock.
Let's take a look at the infield. Luke Wheatley is over at third. J.C. Spinoza, who was so deadly last night, is going to stay at shortstop. Steven Anderchick over at second. And then, yes, Mr. Claire Hout from Red Deer, Alberta, will fill in over at first base with Ben Simmons in behind the plate calling the game. So we take a look. Brock Tiarina on the year. 282 with the bat. He's got 18 RBIs. And he's got one big, long ball that carried over the fence this year.
But he has been hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not more than one this year, honestly. He can really drill a ball.
That misses high and outside. 2-1 now. I mean, when a batter says to you, I've been hitting it hard, you know he's not just stringing you along. He knows if he's hitting it hard or not. And that's just a little dribbler down the first baseline, and this could be close. And there's a play that we have seen. And this time Wyatt McKnight holds up Anthony Gilbert over at third as Tiarina gets over to second on the misplay there by Brett Getz. So I think he would have beat the throw had it been on the base, but it wasn't. What do you think?
It would have been close, but at the end of the day, like we've seen that, as you mentioned, that play before, the scoop, where you try to scoop it with your glove and it just goes way up and high. You don't scoop it directly to the baseman. You end up scooping right underneath of it. Looks like kind of like my flop shot in golf. You just get right underneath of it, and when you don't mean to. And so, yeah, that's a tough play by the pitcher. And the Gulls will hopefully take advantage of that situation with Junior Garcia at the plate.
The DH tonight, he had a loud double last night in the gap between left and center field. Cleary Simpson on deck, but 2 out, and Junior Garcia at the plate with runners on second and third. And that looks like that's going to be a strike tonight.
Yep.
So get used to it.
Yeah, I got to take that in the mental note. Know that that's going to be called tonight. And luckily for Garcia, that's only strike 2, not 3.
That's down in the dirt. Evens the count, 2-2.
Well, and you know Brett Getz, he's going to take full advantage of getting those calls on the outside. And, he's going to keep pitching them because it's gonna be tough on the batters to know what to swing at, what not to.
And that's the same general direction of that one, and a strikeout. So he strikes out the side to bring the inning to a close. So no runs, and I guess just the one hit, although they didn't give him a hit. We are through one complete. Top of the second coming up.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus 2 weekly shows including the WCBL Report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday, and also the WCBL Game of the Week pregame show leading right up to game time every Thursday night. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Top of the second inning for Josh Tucker. A scoreless game to this point, and the number 5 hitter, Steve Andrechik, will step in. And that first pitch is missing for a ball.
Steve Andrechik had a tough game at the plate last night, 0 for 3. He got on base once though with a walk.
And Tucker is behind 3-0 now.
Yeah, that's 3 straight pitches up high that have missed the strike zone. He now has to find a way to keep him low. He's only 10 Ks away from reaching a big milestone. And you're right, it does include playoff baseball in the WCBL.
Okay. And he misses outside, so he walks the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second. That'll bring up Brendan McTavish, the center fielder.
And this is kind of where the Gulls got themselves into trouble last night. Walking batters, putting batters on base, especially when you got such a strong offense in guys like this. Brendan McTavish, Bernie Sakaris, Cara Claro, Jack Kaliski, any of those guys, they can really swing the bat well, and you get a guy on base, and it just makes their night even easier to cash in runs.
And Tucker gets ahead of McTavish with that pitch. 0-2.
McTavish went 1 for 4 last night, scored twice himself.
Missing outside, 1-2 now. You're right. Getting consistent performances throughout your lineup, getting a hit here and a hit there from from everybody from 1 through 9, makes for a very dangerous baseball team. And strikeout number 3. All 3 batters looking for that strikeout by Josh Tucker right now.
Great K there for.
And that was. He got the call on that one.
Yep.
That'll bring up Luke Wheatley. And that's down low for a ball. Wheatley did not play last night for the Bulls. The base runner over at first, Steven Andrechik.
And they got both Luke and Jack Wheatley on the Bulls lineup this summer.
Oh, do they now?
They do.
I did not
And
know
then
that.
there's obviously a chance Wheatley, as you know, is out there somewhere as well, but no longer playing in this league. He's aged out.
That was like, what was the team that had the Volcano Brothers?
The Volcano Brothers, that would have been. Ooh.
Is that Medicine Hat?
Might have been. Let's test my memory.
The 1-2 pitch, and Cleary Simpson maybe took his eye off the ball or something, but that goes off of him and keeps the inning alive, as an error will be charged to the Gulls' second baseman. It was kind of like in between hops, so a difficult play, but one that Cleary usually makes.
Yeah, he doesn't miss those very often. Just an off error for the veteran in number 21, Cleary Simpson.
That brings up the catcher, Ben Simmons.
So Gulls, with the first time facing adversity tonight, have to dig in here defensively, shut things down now, and not give up anything else.
And that's sent down the left field line, but foul. As Tucker now 0-2 on the Bulls catcher. Leaving my papers laying taped up to the wall.
Yeah, just figured I'd grab it.
You moving in?
Yeah.
House cleaning?
House cleaning.
There we go. Strikeout by Josh Tucker. This time a strikeout swinging. Ben Simmons the victim. Strikeout number 4.
Yeah, good work there by Josh Tucker. What a great pitch. Up high and away.
That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, shortstop J.C. Spinoza.
Spinoza, you know, he had a great night defensively. His bat was a little quiet, but he still drove in a run of sacrifice fly as he went 0 for 3 on the night, but had with that 1 RBI. And Spinoza's hitting .225 on the year coming into tonight's game, 102 at-bats. He's got 8 RBIs, 5 doubles, still no home runs.
So base runners over at second and first. 2 down in the bottom or top of the second inning. And Josh Tucker floats that one in at 77 to get the count to 2-1.
The pitch count seems pretty high to me for being only in the second inning. This is popped straight up. Right behind second base, and Tai Yakamoto will come over to grab it and get the third out. So the Gulls do what they needed to do with pressure looming. 2 runners on base, but they get out of the inning holding the Bulls to 0 runs on 0 hits. They'll come to bat at the bottom of second when we come back.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field, the friend next door with your family in the next town, the dealership with the ice cream shop. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Cleary Simpson steps in now to face Brett Getz here in the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless between the Gulls and the Bulls. Last night, the Bulls with a 4-2 win. That puts them a full game ahead of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So a win tonight would bring them back into a tie. But as I mentioned, the Gulls, or the Bulls, I should say, have 2 games in hand. And with 4 days left in the season, I'm not sure when they're going to play those 2 games to make it up. Or maybe they might not even need to. Maybe that's a scenario too. Yeah. And Cleary Simpson said, that hit me in the shoulder. Home plate umpire Connor Jocelyn saying, yeah, I didn't call it.
Let's see the replay here.
Well, it definitely, the ball changes direction slightly. And Cleary is thinking, well, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that grazed his arm.
He's having a little chuckle.
He's got a smile. I wonder if Chat would ask him if he's okay. And that may have been why he's like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, and he's asking, can you check down at third base? And Connor Jocelyn saying, no, I don't need to check. I saw it. And he calls what he saw. So Simpson's back in the batter's box with a 2-1 count.
We're already seeing a little bit of everything, aren't we, this game?
Well, of course we are. And to follow up that, it's a called strike for strike 2, and the fans are in prime form early on in the game, only the second inning, and they're already riding the umpire. And that misses down low. And Simpson watched that all the way from the hand of Brett Getz. So a full count to Simpson, leading things off here in the bottom of the second in a scoreless game. And a swing and a miss. And that's strikeout number 4 for Brett Getz. So we've got a couple of strikeout artists going tonight.
We sure do. It's going to be kind of a pitcher's duel, I think, this evening. And, you know, the pitchers are working for them, though. They're working for all their strikeouts because pitch counts are up high for being only in the second inning. Upwards of over 50 pitches now, 55 for number 22, Brett Getz.
Yeah, right. It just doesn't seem right, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Those innings have not been that long.
I didn't think so. I feel like the pitch count according to the scoreboard here is saying otherwise, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, I can't dispute it.
No, I can't either. I'm trusting what they're putting on there is correct information, but
I mean, if that's the case, and these guys, you know, most times are getting pulled at between 85 and 95 pitches, they might be gone in the 4th inning.
It might be an early night, but no warming up in either bullpen. Both bullpens pretty empty, actually. So.
Yeah. 2-1 the count on Trip Ray. The Gulls catcher tonight. And first baseman Aiden Macaris. It's been a while since I've had to pronounce his name. I've forgotten, yeah. And a walk given up there by Getz to the catcher, Trip Ray. That'll bring Macaris up to face him, Brett Getz.
Yep. Let's take a look at the big old man himself from Calgary, Alberta, Aiden Macaris. 221 on the year. He's got 21 RBIs. And he's got 5 long balls that he's hit. 5 homers on the year. He's got 19 hits.
Well, this would be a good time to get number 20. But he's got his work cut out for him as Brett Getz is showing that he's here to play. You say he's a freshman in college? Okay. He's throwing well.
Wow. He's beating him with the fastball. Wonder if an off speed's coming here. Oh, Macaris got something in his eye. Nice little pull back.
1-2 the count on the Gulls' first baseman. He fouls that off. And I believe that hit the catcher, as it usually does.
Well, after missing the first 2 fastballs, at least Macris gets a piece of that. Now he's kind of ready for it. He knows what to expect here, and he goes down swinging there.
Foul tip, but it's hung on to by Ben Simmons for the second out. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, center fielder Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis has been struggling a little bit with the bat this summer, as he went 0 for 2 last night. So this guy's due. If anybody's due for a night to have one at the plate, it's Kyle Lewis. We know he's a terrific center fielder. He makes some great plays. He's got a long arm. Now if he can put the bat together here, this would be huge for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
And you're right, he has tracked down some balls in the gaps and over his head that we didn't think he was going to get to. 3-0 the count now, though, on Lewis. Top of the order, Tai Yukamoto on deck with the base runner Trip Ray over at first. Taking all the way, and a called strike there on Lewis. So is it disco night or 70s night?
It's disco night.
Okay. Because 70s night is a whole different vibe.
Yep.
Disco is very specific. So Kyle Lewis takes the walk, by the way.
Now, tonight's disco night at Gulls Field, presented by Adrenaline Motors here in Sylvan Lake.
That's why I had my pink heart glasses
Yeah, I saw
on.
that. Looks good. You could use those for both disco night and Taylor Swift night. I know you're such a big Taylor Swift guy.
Yeah, I got all her records.
You got all her songs. You memorize every single lyric. Yeah, I think so. We got a little bit of a word in our headset from our producer, thinking that maybe when we come back from break, maybe Jim can show me some disco moves. And everybody else at home watching, you're not going to want to miss it. That's for sure. Stay tuned.
No, you're going to want to take a bathroom break for that.
I got to see especially the one there. You need a partner. We could try to attempt that.
No.
That little hip thing, whatever you call it.
No.
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 All right.
My hip goes out more than I do.
Who knew I'd get shut down on a dance from Jim Clay? I get
Sorry.
shut down enough from my girlfriend, but thanks.
No, I'm just making you feel comfortable.
Yeah, there you go. Making me feel right at home.
Yep. 2-1. Count. There we go. Out to left field. And Yukamoto going opposite field there, but Bernie Sakaris is right there to make the catch and bring the inning to a close. We are through 2 complete, scoreless between the Gulls and the Bulls.
Well, there's a beautiful shot of the crowd here on a Friday night in Sylvan Lake, Alberta. Everybody that's taken this one in to start the long weekend. That's right. We're kicking off the long weekend with a little bit of a bang with some baseball. And Jim, what do you got for us for disco night? What's your go-to disco move?
I said this hip goes out more than I do. I'm not going to do anything to damage that. So, but I mean, basically, it was the point, you know. And you point at your partner, you point at the floor, you point at yourself, you know. That was basically it. And then, like you say, on the bump, you know, it was like you're moving and you'd be elbows together and then the knees together and then the hip together. And that's where my hip goes out. So there you go.
If I've ever seen a good point in my life, that is a good point. It's like a oh, boy. Yeah.
I think I just threw my shoulder out.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Go for the lefty.
Yeah,
Bring the lefty in.
Yeah, good thing we don't need to use it ever again tonight.
Oh, good Lord.
And hopefully you can still write on your piece of paper. That's all that matters.
I'm going to need some help.
Rob, Manka,
Yeah.
get up here.
How did you hurt yourself? Well, you asked Calvin and Kale how I hurt myself, and you let them explain that
Good
stuff.
demonstrations.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
That was
Thank
good.
you. You're welcome. Don't
only
ever
we had
ask me to do that again.
If only we had some music to go with it. Just play some funky music or something, you know?
Oh, little Wild Cherry.
Yeah.
That's a good song. I do like that song.
It's been stuck in my head all night.
Has it?
So far.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good tune.
Bernie Sequeira's leading things off here at the top of the batting order for the Bulls as he grounds this straight to clear to Simpson. Cleary will field it, throw it over to Macris, and get it out number 1. And a good just kind of recovery from Cleary Simpson after the last play that he had to make that he kind of bobbled on. So just getting the confidence back, and good catch by Macris.
The right fielder, number 10, Lee Matsuzaki.
Lee Matsuzaki up to the plate now for the Bulls. 306 on the year with the bat. He's got 29 RBIs. And he's also hit 6 home runs. Sorry, 5 home runs. I was looking at McTavish.
So one down here in the top of the third. And a called strike on Matsuzaki. So the Bulls with 5 left-handers in the lineup against the lefty on the mound, Josh Tucker. So they're not ones for manufacturing their lineup to prepare for a left-handed pitcher. And Josh Tucker, as I mentioned at the beginning of the game, doesn't matter to him, and he prefers throwing to right-handers, in fact. But he does pretty good against lefties, too. This is down to Anthony Gilbert, and gets him by about half a step, as Matsuzaki showing some good wheels. Gets down the line pretty good, but Anthony Gilbert is up to the task.
Yeah, I mean, this play isn't possible either without a stretch of Aiden Macris either. Like, he really stretched out for that to get even closer to that ball to help the throw get there quicker. So great stretch there as well from the first baseman.
This will bring up Carter Clairhout, who was caught looking at a strike back in the first inning. And he was looking at that one too, and now he's looking at the umpire. Well, Connor Jocelyn is making an impression here with with both teams as they're having conversations with them. I guess they're just introducing themselves and being friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You know. 2 down, top of the third, scoreless. Gulls and Bulls in the second game of a 2-game set here at Gulls Field. One and 2 the count, and that's fouled off by Clairhout. See, they got Josh Tucker at 52 pitches. Maybe that's kind of, it just seemed high in the second inning.
It did, yeah.
At 40 something.
He's a lot, yeah, he's quite a bit less than Brett Getz so far. I think Brett Getz has at least got 10 more pitches on him. And this is popped right up down the third baseline, heading left and foul. I think the wind pushed that and helped that get out of here quicker than it could have.
Yeah, Anthony Gilbert got over there fast, but just ran out of room.
Yep.
The sun has disappeared on us.
Sure has. There's a big dark cloud over to the west of
But
us.
it's kind of going to the northeast here. It's going to go around the lake, it looks like.
Okay. Meteorologist Jim Claggett, ladies and gentlemen.
I think. Therefore, I am wrong. As I plagiarize that saying. And strikeout for Josh Tucker. That is number 5 on the night. And Mr. Tucker's on his way. Boom. There we go. Top of 3 over. Gulls and Bulls are scoreless. Brett Getz, so far, perfect through 2 innings of work against the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He'll face Jaden Flores, Anthony Gilbert, and Brock Tiarina here in the 3rd inning. And Flores fouls this back against the screen.
We were talking about how Jaden Flores had maybe a little bit of a quiet night last night, but man, has he had a good summer since he's come over to join the Sylvan Lake Gulls near the beginning of this year. 326 is his batting average. He's had 138 at-bats, and he hits this one well into right field, but that's foul just out of this field as it'll go down past the Bulls bullpen.
And that prompts the kids to go sprinting after it as they go looking for a ball.
Flores leading the team in RBIs at 31. He's also among the leaders of home runs as well at 6. He's got a good bat, and he won't be quiet for long. We know that.
And that misses outside. 1-2 the count on Jaden Flores. There's a reason why he was an all-star this year. And he can hit, he can field, and he can run, and boy, does he have an arm. And the guy behind him, Anthony Gilbert, and the guy behind him, Brock Tiarina, also have very strong right arms. Good balance. 2-2. And a called 3rd strike again on Jaden Flores. He is the victim for a 2nd time here by Brett Getz.
Okay, so I think they fixed the pitch count because last time Getz was up in the last inning, he was at 59 pitches.
Yeah, so they took
Now
5 away from him.
Now it's down to 54. So, okay.
Okay, we're not losing it. Well, I can only
bit.
speak for
No,
myself.
yeah.
I am. Well, you got to have it before you lose it, right?
Yeah.
And Anthony Gilbert got him base on a walk in the 1st inning. And gets missing outside with that one. Tiarina on deck. 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That's fouled out of play.
I'm just trying to look into the crowd. I don't see a whole lot of disco folks in this stadium. I'm trying to find some, but I have a tough time. You know who did a really good job that deserve a big shout out on the airwaves right now is The ladies that work behind us in the bar upstairs for all the suite holders, my goodness, did they go all out, and they do an incredible job. I was talking to the whole team of Amber, and that's glove down at second base as Anthony Gilbert just lifts the shallow into the infield, and pretty easy catch there for Steven Anderchick.
Yeah, they did good. I walked by there.
Carmen apparently ordered it all on Amazon.
I walked by and I go, whoa, some serious flashbacks. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently like 2 days ago, Carmen ordered it all on Amazon, and they all committed to it.
Studio 54 right there in our backyard.
Yeah.
You know what Studio 54 was?
No.
No, it was a disco place in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, very famous. Hard to get into, apparently. You had to know somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and maybe you got in.
Okay.
Yeah. 1-1 to count on Brock Tiarina. It was the place to go in the 70s.
Brock Tiarina with a good eye so far at this at bat. 3-1 the count. Two-way on the Gulls. And the pitch right before that, he called the ball. And it was more inside than that. And then that, yeah, okay.
Well, another strikeout there for Brett Getz.
No, not a strikeout.
Oh, wait a minute.
That just brings it to full count now. But let's take a look at the Hearthstone Property Management replay. And yeah, okay.
So full count on Tiarina. And he draws the walk one pitch later to keep the inning going for the Gulls with 2 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. And Tiarina makes his way over to first, and Junior Garcia will take a bat. Kai Rimple back over at first base tonight. He's taking the role of Cam Diaz, who was basically the first base coach when he wasn't pitching. I'm not sure if Kai was giving signals or just getting mosquitoes off his arms there. Oh, 0-2 the count on Junior Garcia. He's one of the strikeout victims as well. 6 on the night for Brett Getz.
Yeah, that's a good number.
5 for Josh Tucker. So, and this time a little tighter inside, and Junior Garcia takes one off the leg.
Ouch.
Catchers.
Yeah,
you know, doesn't matter if they're behind the plate or at the plate. They get hit by the ball, it seems, more than anybody.
Right on the outside of the knee here, too. Look at this pitch come in. Oh,
well,
maybe.
That bounced.
Not even on the knee. Right off the leg. From here, I didn't know it bounced from our advantage point.
Yeah.
So the Gulls have had 2 base runners so far in every inning played. This is where you got to cash guys in.
Yep.
You know, enough leaving guys stranded. I know you're at 2 outs already, but Sylvan Lake Gulls have to find a way here to take advantage of base runners.
Well, they got to solve the guy on the mound.
Yeah.
Because whether or not you agree with the balls and strikes, he's been around the plate enough to get the calls going his direction.
Yep.
And guys have been swinging at pitches, and so it's a weird balance. Well, and this is sent down the left field line by Clary Simpson. That's going to bounce away from the left fielder, Sakaris. And Clary Simpson is going to get himself a 3-run double. Or a 2-run double, I'm sorry. As both Tiarina and Junior Garcia, bad leg and all, score on that double down the left field line. This is perfectly placed.
That was well placed, yes, absolutely. That was just, and then just the way the ball was spinning away from the left fielder too, that didn't get him any chance to get the ball in quickly to only limit to the damage to 1 run. So a nice 2 RBI double by Cleary Simpson, and that's exactly what I was talking about as far as taking advantage of driving in runs when guys are on base, as it hasn't come easy, especially against this Lethbridge Bulls team.
That'll bring up Trip Ray with Simpson over at second base now. Well, that woke a few people up. I think they were just kind of getting lulled to sleep here almost. I mean, it was I like pitches duels, but some people just need a little more excitement, and Cleary Simpson injected a little bit of that into the crowd.
He sure did. And you know, we've seen Trip Ray also inject some energy into crowds lately with a game that wasn't long ago where he had back-to-back homers.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've seen that in the Gulls lineup.
Or back-to-back home runs by the same guy. I don't know if we've seen that before or not. Yeah, it's
I'm trying to think. Cooper Sazelski might have been the last guy maybe that did that, but I don't think he did either. Ty McWillie, possibly.
Yeah,
but
I could see McWillie doing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or Kyle Fralick even, when he was batting back in the day.
Yeah.
He had a really good at-bat.
Jonah Weisner? No.
I feel like somebody's done it. I feel like there's maybe not back-to-back, but more than 1 home run for 1 guy in a game.
Well, see, now I'm talking back-to-back,
okay,
though.
yeah.
They're 2 different things,
yeah,
my
no,
friend.
for sure.
Okay.
That's what I mean, though.
That's what we're going
I've seen 2 home runs by the same player, but like you said, back-to-back, that's totally different. Now this pitch gets away from the catcher, so Cleary Simpson will advance to third, now only 9 feet away from maybe making it 3-0. Trip Ray over at first. Takes the walk.
So runners on the corners, and that'll prompt the visit from the dugout, as Brett Getz has been sailing along here with a no-hitter until Cleary Simpson cleared the bases with his 2-run double. That 2-run double, you know what that reminded me of? Being a left-handed golfer, that reminded me of my slice.
Yeah.
And that was painful to watch.
It had some spin on the ball and
just kept going left.
Just kept going left, yeah. And then as soon as it lands, it skips even further left.
Yeah. You know what? It does do that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Unless, if I'm hitting and trying to hit that same shot around a dog leg left, guaranteed that's going to hook and go right, as far right as it possibly can. Murphy's Law of golf. And one of these days, I'm going to meet Murphy on the golf course, and I'm going to club him over the head. And he's going to say, whoa, what's that for? And you know what that's for. You know what that is for. So don't play dumb with me, Murphy. I'm Irish, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody has seen this movie.
Yep, they sure have.
The run down to second. Catcher stands up and keeps an eye on the guy at third. It's like you might as well just get, especially with 2 out, just give him the base.
And you wonder, too, with that meeting on the mound, if that was maybe part of the discussion of what they were talking about when they go out there, right? Is, okay, watch the corners.
This is what's going to happen.
This is what they might try to pull, yeah. And sure enough, the catcher made no mistake and held on to that ball. Cleary Simpson obviously staying close by as well, just in case, and probably a good thing that he did.
Trip Ray's probably saying to, say to Junior Garcia, how many stolen bases you got? I got a couple now. I think that might be his first one, to be honest, but it is a stolen base, I guess. Oh, yeah. And Aiden Macaris gives this a ride to dead center field off the wall. And a stand-up double for the Gulls first baseman, and he is pumped up.
What an absolute monstrous hit from Aiden Macaris, and again, just a timely one at that. Drives in 2 more runs for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and yeah, he gets all of this as this goes all the way back the distance and lands right near the top of the 400 mark. And Macaris, the only thing that could have been better if that was an extra foot high for him, but he'll take that all day long. driving in 2 more runs, just as good as a home run, I would think.
Well, it's kind of what you said. When they got men on base, you got to take advantage. Well, they must have heard you, Mr. Clark, because look at this. A 4-1 third inning, each with knocking in 2 RBIs, Clary Simpson and Aiden Macaris.
Not very often people listen to me, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did. They must have. They had to have heard you. There's a little floater into shallow center field, but Brendan McTavish has the wheels to get there in time, but not before the Sylvan Lake Gulls bring 4 runners across the plate. They have a 4-0 lead as we go to break here. The Gulls over the Lethbridge Bulls. Well, Josh Tucker will step in to face Jack Kaliski to start things off in the 4th inning. And the Gulls scoring 4 times in the bottom half of the 3rd to take a 4-0 lead. So they doubled their output from last night as Kaliski fouls that off. And my math was a little off. I had 5 left-handers. I have got 4 now, because I thought Kaliski was a lefty for some reason. He isn't. Although, and maybe I'm dreaming or something, but I thought Bernie Sakaris was batting left-handed last night and is batting right-handed tonight. And Kaliski sends this down the left field line, and that looks like Leroy Tavares picking that one up. Not that it matters who picked that up, but guy's coming out of the bullpen. 1-2 the count on Kaliski, and strikeout number 6 for Josh Tucker.
Another great pitch by Josh Tucker here as you take a look at the Hearthstone Property Management replay, and he just keeps us up high. He rides that strike up high with a nice fastball, and that catches Jack Kaliski swinging underneath of it, thinking it was going to drop a little bit more than that. And a great pitch by the veteran pitcher.
When number 30 is on his game, he is using all sorts of tools that he has in his toolbox. And that includes going high, going low, inside, outside, this speed, that speed, everything else. And that's ripped out into center field by Steven Andrechik for the first base hit of the night for the Lethbridge Bulls. That'll bring up the center fielder, Brendan McTavish.
Center fielder, number 5, Brendan McTavish.
So the no-hitter's out, and Josh Tucker can now work on a little personal record for himself. He's halfway to 300 strikeouts for his WCBL career. And what I mean halfway is that he needed 12 tonight. He's at 6. Not that he's at 150 and needs another 150. Been there, done that. That misses outside, 2-1 the count. That's fouled up against the screen. Tucker, 2-2 count. And that's, yeah, I think you're right. They did fix the pitch count aspect here. He's at 64 pitches right now, which seems about right in the 4th inning. Oh. Trip Ray held that there for a moment just to let the umpire know. And a full count on Brennan McTavish, and he fouls that off. Andrechik, the base runner, over at first with a single. With one down here in the top half of the 4th inning. Gulls with a 4-0 lead over the Lethbridge Bulls. Only 3 hits tonight. And strikeout number 7 for Josh Tucker.
Yeah, Josh Tucker just closely inching his way to a personal record as you take a look at that throw, and a great pitch there by number 30 himself, 2 away. And trying to keep the base runner from Steven Andrechik over at first.
So Luke Wheatley steps in now. He got on base with a solid hit down to second, and it just kind of handcuffed Cleary Simpson. And he couldn't quite get a handle on it, and that's how Luke Wheatley got on base. But then Josh Tucker struck out the next gentleman and got the last guy to pop up, and this is out to center field. Kyle Lewis, very casually, but very confidently, makes the throw, or makes the catch, and we are through 3.5. Gulls coming to bat.
New pitcher for Lethbridge. Now on the hill from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Waxhaw Academy. Please welcome number 39, Caldwell.
New pitcher on the mound for the Lethbridge Bulls. That's number 39, Caden Caldwell from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Jim. That's kind of near your neck of the woods. Vauxhall Academy is where he goes to school, and he'll come in relief for Brett Getz, and that's a leadoff hit right to Carter Claro, who makes an exceptional grab right at the first base line. And one out just like that on the Sylvan Lake Gulls' Tai Yukamoto. So 3 innings of work for Brett Getz. And now they'll turn to Caden Coldwell to keep things going and shut the door.
Flores has struck out looking twice now tonight. And he wasn't happy with either of those. And inside for strike one. He's shaking his head. He's just, I think the situation at home plate has got into his mind right now a little too much. And that misses well outside. 2-1 now. And a base hit there for Jaden Flores. He solves that problem.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're just having a few technical difficulties for now, so we are doing our best to resolve them as soon as possible. In case you're wondering, well, what's going on with the announcers? Why are they coming in and out? Well, that's probably why. Jaden Flores, though, with a great base hit there, right center field, that lands. So that'll bring up Anthony Gilbert, who walked back in the first and flew to second in the third. Four 0 Gulls lead it over the Lethbridge Bulls.
Jaden Flores, the batter, or the base runner, I should say, over at first, and Anthony Gilbert at the plate. As we're dealing with some technical stuff. Bat breaks, ball goes down to third, and no, they can't turn the double play. They do get the lead runner in Flores. And Anthony Gilbert is over on first on a fielder's choice.
The left fielder, number 11, Brock Tiarina.
Brock Tiarina steps in to take on the newest pitcher, Caldwell, taking over from Brett Getz. That misses outside. Ball one. Or ball two, I should say.
Throw down at first. Anthony Gilbert will get there safe and sound. 2 away. 2-0 the count to Tiarina.
Three and 0 now. Anthony Gilbert over at first. 2 down in the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-0 Gulls lead it. And that's a called strike as Tiarina taking all the way. Junior Garcia is on deck. And a called strike there as Tiarina tried to hold up, but it was a called strike anyway. Count now full. As the Gulls with a 4-0 lead. And Anthony Gilbert is not going to stop at second as that bobbled out in right field by Matsuzaki. But a base hit by Brock Tiarina, a solid single to right field, moves Anthony Gilbert over to third base, and that'll bring up Junior Garcia.
Yeah, the Sylvan Lake Gulls are just doing things that they just couldn't do last night, where they could lift them into the gaps and find the holes. And now tonight, kind of a completely different story so far back, and it all got started in that third inning thanks to Cleary Simpson getting things started with an opposite field hit, and then next thing you know, they just kind of carry the momentum from there. And it's weird how that works with certain batters. Here comes the throw down to second, and Tiarina trying to draw the run into home, and he gets thrown out as he gets picked off. Anthony Gilbert was not planning on going anywhere from third, just in case the throw came, and a little bit of maybe a miscommunication there by the base running for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So the Lethbridge Bulls get out of it with runners on the corner, and they'll come to bat at the top of the fifth. When we come back, you're watching Gulls baseball.
That's grounded down to first base. Josh Tucker covering, and he gets the flip from Aiden Macaris. And that's the first out of the inning as Ben Simmons grounds out. So one down here in the top of the fifth inning. Gulls with a 4-0 lead over the Lethbridge Bulls. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, J.C. Spinoza. And then the top of the order, Bernie Sakaris. And a good pitch there by Tucker ties up Spinoza. With one down. And Tucker missing with that one. Count now 1-2. That misses down low for a ball. 2-2 on Spinoza, who popped up to the shortstop Yukamoto in the second inning. Gulls with 4 runs on 4 hits. The Bulls, no runs, just the 1 hit. Each team has an error.
The Bulls went without an error last night, and they lift this into center field as this is J.C. Spinoza getting on base with a base hit. Greets Josh Tucker right up the middle.
fielder, number 1, Bernie Sacris.
So Bernie Sakaris will come back to the plate, who's been oh so dangerous this season for the Bulls. He's 0 for 2 on the night, though. He's been quiet so far.
And I think he was 0 for 4 last night. I think.
He went 2 for 4 last night.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And an RBI.
Never mind.
Yeah. I was going to say, I remember him getting a couple of hits.
I'm thinking of a totally different game.
Andrewchik went 0 for 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And so did Turner. And so did Matsuzaki, actually, technically, too. And that's hit right to Anthony Gilbert. A nice catch there. So really good catch there by the infield, making a big play off, helping out the pitcher Josh Tucker, who the last couple games Josh Tucker pitched, he did not really need a lot of support from his infield or the outfield. He did a lot of the work himself. And tonight, totally different night. He's getting the help that he needs from his infield. So good job there by Anthony Gilbert.
That's 2 down now here in the 5th inning. And Lee Matsuzaki, who got on in the 1st inning with a walk and then grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd inning. 80 pitches on the nose, and that prompts some action in the Gulls bullpen as a few guys are loosening up. So Josh Tucker sitting at 7 strikeouts tonight. And as we mentioned, looking at 12 would give him 300 in his WCBL career.
Yep. So he's 5 away and probably not looking like he's going to get there tonight if the action in the bullpen increases. But that's okay because we know Josh Tucker, he's got lots of ball left. He can come in the playoffs and the postseason and he can do his work there. So I'm sure they're going to be saving him for postseason baseball if they can, as long as he doesn't have to go back anytime soon. And why not make it 4 Ks away?
That's strikeout number 8 for Josh Tucker as he gets Matsuzaki looking at that pitch for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs on the 1 hit. Bulls strand a runner, and Gulls are coming to bat. Leading things off here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in the 5th inning, filling in for Junior Garcia now, is none other than Matty Fung. So maybe Junior, that hit to the leg.
Yeah, it might be stinging.
Might have, and Matty puts this one right back up the middle, and a good stretch there by Carter Clare out.
Absolutely. That's a really good stretch by Claire out. And you can tell that Matty Fung couldn't run his typical speed. I think if he was in, his normal full speed on that play, he would have beat out the throw. But he looked like he had a little bit of a slow run on that first play.
I agree.
The second baseman, number 21.
This will bring up Cleary Simpson, who started things by clearing the bases with a double down the left field line that just kept going away from the left fielder, Bernie Sakaris. And Caden Caldwell on the mound for his second inning of work, taking over from the starter, Brett Getz, who got Gotts.
Yeah, you did it.
I did.
You did it.
I knew I was going to say
You
it
had to.
eventually.
Yeah, I knew. You couldn't go the whole night without it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
That'd be like telling a fish not to swim underwater.
Oh, I love it. 2-1 now 3-1 to Cleary Simpson. This is Caden Caldwell's second inning of work. And he's only given up 2 hits so far and a walk.
Simpson on base for the second time in a row here in the 5th inning now. So 1 down, base runner over at first, and that'll bring up Trip Ray.
The catcher, number 13, Trip Ray.
Trip Ray, my apologies, walked both times in the second and the third inning. He was the one that came around to score in the third inning. And as we take a look at Trip Ray's stats with the bat so far on the year, he's got 266 hitting average, 15 RBIs, 4 home runs, 17 hits, 1 triple, 1 double, and this one lifted deep to left field, off the wall.
And they're going to hold Cleary Simpson up at third on that stand-up double by Trip Ray, who had just put a charge into that one.
Did he ever?
1 hopper off the bottom of the fence.
Wow. That was something to watch. As he's take a look here, and that smoked right to left field. And that's his second double of the summer.
And speaking of hitting it off the wall, Aiden Macker has hit his last at bat, probably hit it about 395 feet.
Yep.
Right at the 400 mark as he one-hopped it off the wall. So the guys are hitting the ball tonight. That's 5 hits on the evening. They didn't have a whole lot of success last night against Maxime Marichuk, as he went over 7 innings, threw almost 100 pitches, and basically kept the Gulls in control. 2-1 the count on Macaris. A strikeout and a double, and the double netted him 2 RBIs. And that's right on the corner. Good pitch there by Caldwell.
Well, the Gulls are looking again in really good situation as Mackers pops this straight up. Might have spoke a little too soon. This is right to the third baseman. And an easy catch there by Luke Wheatley, and keeps everybody still of where they're at. So that'll bring up Kyle Lewis, who's had a tough bat. Popped out to center field last at bat, and then he walked in the second.
That misses outside for a ball. Runners on second and third, 2 down. Bottom of 5, Gulls with a 4-0 lead over Lethbridge. And that is well inside.
That did not miss by much. That looked like it grazed the pants almost.
Oh, it might have. And Lewis sends this towards the Bulls dugout, and look at Carter Clairhout. The effort.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, he wanted that. Well, he can't play easy. Girlfriend's in attendance tonight, Jim. You gotta play. You gotta play ready to play. You gotta be going hard all the way along.
Was that your excuse last night for your broadcast? Your girlfriend was in attendance and you were on your game?
Was I on my game?
I think so. Well, you did the intro.
Oh, thank you.
You did it twice as much as I did.
Yeah. Our producer thought that intro was going to be something more than an intro, according to him last night.
Yeah.
And when you told her that, you almost scared her off. Or when I told her that, I should say.
Yeah, well, you had to be honest.
This is popped straight up just behind the mound, and that will be caught by none other than J.C. Spinoza. So the Gulls leave 2 runners stranded yet again on the night after Trip Ray with a big double, but nothing to show for it. The Sylvan Lake Gulls still lead 4-0 heading to the top of the 6th when we come back. Watching the Snapman race, and unfortunately, you don't see that very often. Early on in the Snapman race, the guy takes an absolute spill on the warning track, and I don't know, something looked like it locked up on him, and that's not good, as he's feeling it right now. He's pretty banged up and hurt, and he's going to lay on the trainer's table. Luckily for him, he's got someone maybe working on him. So Rob Manka's sitting in the dugout, so I'm not sure if they're just putting him on the table and someone that he's with is a trained massage therapist, but he's in quite a bit of discomfort right now, and they put him on the training table. I don't know who's working on him, if anybody's working on him, or if he's just taking a little break. But anyways, regardless, we got baseball to watch, and you just never like to see that from anybody getting hurt on the Snapman race.
That's right. Carter Clairhout steps in here. Hopefully he's okay. Facing Josh Tucker. 0-2 the count on Clairhout, who has struck out twice against the lefty. And Tucker missing outside with that one. So even third base umpire Lonnie Smith and third baseman Anthony Gilbert are looking over to where the racer for Snapman was. Cleary Simpson off, and what an outstanding play by number 21.
They're saying he came off the bag.
Oh my.
They're calling him safe. So let's take a look at this here as the throw was great. Makaris, I thought he kept his foot on the bag. First base umpire Ron Shuchuk says otherwise. So Carter Clairot's going to be credited, I would say, his first hit of the game. Good hustle there by Clairot.
So a single to lead things off here in the 6th for the Bulls. They're trailing 4-0 now. And this is Jack Kaliski, the designated hitter. And a good pitch there by Josh Tucker ties up Kaliski to even the count at 1-1. That's fouled out of play to the right. So Tucker ahead. 1-2 now on the designated hitter, Kaliski, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out and a strikeout. And I think if I'm just thinking, and which is always a dangerous thing, that a win tonight by the Gulls would even the season series at 4-4. I think.
Well, I can tell you in just a moment here.
That's why I said that,
Jim.
because I knew you would be able to type into your magic computer and get the information for us. And this is a little floater down the first baseline. Clary Simpson can't get to it. Aiden Makaris can't get to it. And a base hit there for Jack Kaliski. Not a very solid one, but a base hit nonetheless. As the first two guys get on board for the Lethbridge Bulls against Josh Tucker, who I'm just looking here. Don't think he's had. Nope, they have not had two base runners on in any inning tonight so far.
And you're right, the Gulls are down 3-4 against Lethbridge, so with a win tonight, that would tie the series, as you mentioned. 4-4. Look at you go. You called it. Atta boy.
Look at me paying attention. My wife would be so proud of me. Why can't you do that at home? I can hear it.
Well, as I was looking that up for you mind telling me what Kaliski did on that play? That was a base hit?
A little floater out into
right.
no man's land there as Simpson couldn't get to it, and neither could Aiden Makaris. And it just landed, as the old golf saying, like a butterfly with sore feet.
Yeah. Well, for the second time tonight, the Gulls, you know what? Actually, this would be the second time tonight that the Gulls face two base runners, because Luke Wheatley back in the second got on with an error.
Right. There we are. I didn't see that. Yeah. I was looking at hits, and I didn't see a hit because I had an error. So 1-1 the count. You got some technology in your hands there, my friend. And Tucker missing with that pitch. Pitch number 97 on the night for Josh Tucker. Yeah, there's a few guys. Well, they don't look like they're really warming up with any hurry. 3-1 now. I guess Leroy Tavares was ready, and he's just doing a little wardrobe repairs. In other words, doing his built up. 3-1 the count on Steven Andrzejczyk. And that's inside for a ball, even to make the count full. So runners on first and second, nobody out. The Gulls with a 4-0 lead, but the Lethbridge Bulls are threatening here in the top of the sixth. And a pop-up. And Clary Simpson has got his eyes on it and makes the grab to record the first out. which kind of helps. This will be the center fielder, Brendan McTavish. He got caught, struck out looking, and then struck out swinging. And that's a ball. Luke Wheatley is the batter on deck. Carter Clairhout over at second. Jack Kaliski is the base runner at first. And this is out into shallow center field, and Tai Yukamoto, there could double up Carter Clairhout here, and they will.
Wow, what a play by Tai Yukamoto. Not only does he run all the way back to make that catch, but Clairhout had thought there was no chance he was getting there. And of course, by the time Clairhout realizes, he falls, slips, and allows Yukamoto to tag him up on the double play. What a throw and what a catch by Tai Yukamoto. We'll be back with the bottom half of the sixth when we come back.
Well, a new pitcher on the mound for the Lethbridge Bulls, number 31 from Jones, Oklahoma. That is Corbin Talley. And he'll face the man who made that outstanding play out in shallow left field, and that is Tai Yukamoto. To lead things off, Jaden Flores, and then Anthony Gilbert. And the first pitch by Talley is in for a strike. And Yukamoto sends this into the gap, and this could drop. Nope. Brennan McIntosh, I underestimate his speed as he covered an awful lot of ground to get over there in the hole and make the grab for the first out.
The right fielder, number 7, Jaden Flores.
And Jaden Flores, who got on base finally after a couple of strikeouts with a solid single. And a good pitch there by Talley. Has the count at 1-1. Anthony Gilbert is on deck. Ooh, down low. The count 2-1. And Talley with a nice pitch there to fool Jaden Flores. 2-2 now on the Gulls right fielder. And a check swing sends this foul. The count remains 2-2. Gulls with 4 runs in the third inning. That is all the scoring that has happened for either side tonight, as the pitchers have been kind of dominant. The starter, Brett Getz, for the Bulls had 6 strikeouts. Josh Tucker, the starter for the Gulls, had 7. And Flores keeping himself in the batter's box by fouling that pitch off. And I just got a feeling that Leroy Tavares is the man that's going to be coming out of the bullpen tonight here in the start of the 7th inning, as Josh Tucker will call it a night with 8 strikeouts. 4 short of a WCBL career of 300 strikeouts. Some more baseballs delivered to home plate umpire Connor Jocelyn. And Jaden Flores will step back in to face Caden Talley. 2-2 the count on the right fielder. And that misses inside. Count now full. Yukamoto led off the inning with a solid hit out into right center, but Brendan McTavish tracked it down for the first out. And Flores hits this into the Gulls bullpen and has them scattering. Cam McLeod had to really scoot to get out of the way of that one.
That was a little bit of fun, eh? Everybody kind of, you split everybody in the bullpen there. Breaking up that party a little bit. So that'll be a full count to Flores. Sylvan Lake Gulls, 4 runs in that third inning. That's the difference maker right now. Out hitting the Bulls by 1 with 5-4. Good fight off there from Flores. Toronto Blue Jays first team to hit 60 wins on the season with that win just the other day.
Okay.
They're playing really good baseball as of late.
They are, and they've picked up a couple of guys.
Yeah, a lot of trades actually today, I noticed. Yeah, today and yesterday. Picking up Bieber from the Guardians, that's a pretty big move.
Well, that's a rolling the dice move.
Yeah.
Because if he's the Bieber, not the singer.
Yeah, no, not Justin.
Hopefully he's not him. No offense, but I don't think Justin can play baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a Cy Young, and if they get kind of that guy, he's going to flesh out that starting rotation.
Yeah, you can tell that they're building for the playoffs right now, as that is popped straight up, right down the third base line. And, of course, guess who's going to come over to call everybody and take that himself? J.C. Spinoza will make the catch in foul territory. So
Yeah, the Major League Baseball trade deadline was the 31st.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of deals made. 33 players, I think. 33 deals, 90 some odd players changed teams. So that's an exciting trade deadline. Unlike the NHL trade deadline, which gets built up to no end, and then usually sours. Those guys, they get all those high-priced talking heads, the insiders on both TSN and Sportsnet, and they sit around for 8 hours and go over everything that everybody pretty much knew already.
Well, there's a website, it's called The Winners and the Losers of the 2025 MLB trade deadline. They're saying the winner, the Minnesota Twins,
Really?
who moved 11 players at the deadline, making it the busiest seller in baseball by far. The loser is the Twins fans.
Well,
is how they worded this. So
okay.
that makes sense. And then the Seattle Mariners offense kind of won in this one. I guess they've never struggled to find pitching. Their rotation is one of the deepest in baseball, and Matt Brash and Andres Munoz duo at the back end of the bullpen is as good as any in baseball.
Well, it's in my humble opinion, San Diego made the best moves, getting 2 guys from the Oakland Athletics, including Mr. Miller, who is an absolute stud in the 9th inning. And the Padres already have Suarez as their closer, and he has been one of the best in the league. So a little fly ball by Anthony Gilbert to second base, and that brings the inning to a close. 3 up, 3 down for Caden Talley as he comes in to pitch. 6 complete, 4-0, Gulls lead it. Leroy Tavares steps in now. Josh Tucker's night is over. No runs, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts for number 30. So he is 4 short of the number 300 as far as it comes for K's in his illustrious WCBL career as a Sylvan Lake Gull.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a huge accomplishment regardless if he gets it done tonight or if he gets it done in the postseason. Josh Tucker will get it done. You know he will. And you know what? Last time Josh Tucker pitched, and I believe Leroy, if don't maybe take my word on this, but I'm pretty sure Leroy Tavares came in that game and picked up from where he left off as well, just keeping the K's going.
I think. Now,
Or was it
you're going to
somebody
check.
else?
No, I think what happened was Josh had 14 strikeouts,
Yeah.
and Tavares came in the next night and started and had 10.
Oh, maybe that might have been it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That
think-
makes more sense.
I think that's my recollection,
Yep.
but I mean my recollections are somewhat
No,
hazy.
I appreciate the correction. I
fuzzy.
think you're right. I knew there was something there, but
I mean I could look on my sheets, but you've got the computer. I could do it old-fashioned and look at my actual game sheet. I know that's boring.
yeah, I'll look at it right away here. But no, I think you're right. Thank you for correcting.
Well, it was more guiding.
Yeah.
It wasn't correcting. 2-0 the count on Luke Wheatley, who reached on an error and then popped up to the shortstop, Yukamoto. And that pop-up, oh no, that was the last inning. Yeah, because that pop-up in the last inning was a double play as Yukamoto caught Carter Clairhout way off of second base. I think Clairhout might have thought that ball was going to drop in, that there was no way the shortstop was going to get to it. And he did. A 3-1 count, though, on Luke Wheatley, the number 7 hitter in the Bulls lineup. And Tavares comes in and walks the first man he faces here in the 7th inning. And that'll bring up the catcher, Ben Simmons.
Well, Ben Simmons is the guy that just walked over to first, so this will bring up J.C. Spinoza.
Well, where am I?
Because the strikeout was to Luke Wheatley to start things off here.
Oh, I did see. I didn't see the strikeout.
Yeah.
I was out of the room. You should have told me. That's okay. That's okay. There we go. Eventually, I catch up.
But then you did correct me on the fact that, yes, it was Tavares that came in the next day and had 10 Ks on the fence after the great work that Josh Tucker did the night before him with the 14.
It's all about balance.
Absolutely. We're helping each other out here. We're getting through it.
And that gets away from Trip Ray as Simmons makes his way down to second on the pass ball. So an auspicious start here for Leroy Tavares. A strikeout and then a walk and then now a pass ball. Or a wild pitch. Again, it depends on who you talk to. The Bulls trying to put something together against this Gulls pitching staff tonight. As Josh Tucker had their number, and this is grounded down to Yukamoto, who just scoops it, throws it, and a good grab there over at first by Aiden Macaris.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily the smoothest play from Yukamoto that we have seen, as he usually makes that throw, you know, a little bit more easier for Macaris to grab, but Macaris with a great scoop off the turf, and you gotta be happy with that effort from Aiden Macaris over at first.
So I wasn't hallucinating, because here's Bernie Sakaris,
Yeah, he's playing
batting left-handed.
batting left-handed, so he's
now,
a switch hitter.
I thought I saw him hitting left-handed last night, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute, now he's on the right-hand side of the plate. Okay. Get a grip. Zacharias 0 for 3 on the night. And Leroy Tavares floats that one in at 79 and is ahead 0-2 with 2 down here in the 7th inning of work between the Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls. And I do believe, I think with the win tonight, this is going to be the playoff matchup that we're going to see next week.
Yep.
Lethbridge and Sylvan Lake.
Wouldn't be the first time. Probably not going to be the last.
And that hits Bernie Sakaris. So 4 batters, a strikeout, a ground out, a hit batsman, and a walk. A little bit of everything there from Leroy right now. And that'll bring up number 10, Lee Matsuzaki, with 2 down and runners on the corners. And Tavares comes inside and misses with that. That misses up high now. 2-0 the count on Matsuzaki. Matt Hape is going to come out and have a chat with Mr. Tavares from Snyder, Texas.
So I found out some information about the Batgirl tonight.
Okay.
That's a Sinclair. That's the billet sister of Maddie Fungs. She has only missed, talking to her dad ahead of this game, I think he said she's only really been missed 6 games of the whole season. So she's had a good opportunity to be the Batgirl for a lot of the games so far this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And you love to see it. She does a great job. They were comparing her last night, talking to her and her family and Rob Fung. They're saying that very much a similarity with her hairstyle to Sunshine and Jacob Rochelle. Very similar hair.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, that's what they thought.
I don't know.
The blonde, flowy curls.
I got to think Jacob's got more.
Oh, probably, yeah. But we're just putting a little comparison between the two.
So the conversation on the mound is over. Leroy Tavares back to work here with a 2-0 count. And a 3-0 count now on Matt Sasaki with runners on first and third. And a 4-0 lead, Sylvan Lake over Lethbridge. And taking all the way, that falls in for a strike. And back-to-back strikes there from Tavares on Matt Sasaki. So the count now full. And the base runner, Ben Simmons, or Spinoza, I should say. He is over there, and he'll be going. He did. But that's fouled off. Oh, that's Sakaris. Reed. And that's grounded down to Simpson, and he's up with it. And over to first for the third out. So after a little bit of turbulence, the flight calms down and smooths out as the Gulls keep the shutout going here in the 7th inning. No runs and 2 men left on base. We are through 6.5. Gulls coming to bat.
Brock Tiarina will step into the plate now as he is 1 for 1, I guess, technically. Got on base due to an error back in the first, walked in the third, and had a base hit in the fourth.
That would be 1 for 1. 3 plate appearances, but only the 1 hit. So he's batting 1,000.
Not too shabby.
Caden Talley on the mound here in the 7th inning. 4-0 Sylvan Lake. The two starters, Brett Getz and Josh Tucker, did a fine job controlling things off the mound. But it's the Gulls that have the edge right now. And a called strike there evens the count at 2-2. And Tiarina sends this right back up the middle for his second base hit of the night to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th.
Right up where it came from. Nice hit there by Brock Tiarina as you take a look at your Hearthstone Property Management replay. And yeah, no chance there for the Bulls to get anything on it unless you're going to try a little kick move like Matthew McKenzie did. But I think that was hit a little too hard for any pitcher to want to stick his foot in front of.
Yeah.
So we got a new pinch runner over at first, Brock Tiarina.
What's going on
and
here?
It's getting a little heated with
Carter Clairhout.
And there's some guys from the dugout that came out as well, and the coaches have to send them back in.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there.
I don't know either.
And Wyatt McKnight's coming over to have a little chat with Brock Tiarina, and Jason Chatwood's going to have a little chat with anybody that wants to chat with him. That's Ron Shuchuk, the first base umpire. And he says, I got this under control. Let's not worry about it.
I wonder what happened.
Well, we got a pinch runner, Simon Baker, over at first, and a pinch hitter, and Rowan O'Connor at the plate. That's what was going on. And then all of a sudden we looked, and I think Carter Clairhout might have said something that annoyed Brock Tiarina, and Tiarina responded, and nothing's going to happen out of that, folks. So it's all good now.
Yeah, second pinch hitter to come in for the DH. And then Rowan O'Connor.
Yeah, so I got to think that Matty Fung maybe isn't 100%, because I thought maybe he might have stayed in as the DH. But because we saw that run down to first base, and he just didn't look like he was about 80%. As far as running. So anyway, that pitch misses on O'Connor. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't throw. He threw over to first, didn't he? Yep. So I'm looking around trying to see who's still animated, who's still agitated, what's going on. The game within the game, the story within the story.
Yep. Things getting a little heated on a Friday night between the two teams that are fighting for second in the West right now. Lots of emotion, lots of things meaning and matter on this game, my apologies, as this is a big game. They're treating it like a playoff one.
Well, and they're setting each other up. They know they're going to face each other in the playoffs. As
the crowd's giving it to the pitcher that keeps throwing over to Carter Clairhout. They're like telling him, do it again. He did it again.
Well, Caden Talley, that's 4 in a row now?
Yep. Corbin Talley, yeah. That's who's on. From Caden Coldwell.
No, it's Talley.
I know, I said from Caden Coldwell. He came in.
Oh, right, yeah.
On the
that's,
mound.
I'm not sure what's going on there. This is ridiculous. I'm not sure if this is on purpose, or it's like Simon Baker's not even doesn't even have a great lead.
No, he doesn't. The crowd's giving it to him, and he
Talley gives the hands up.
Yeah, a little bit of a sarcastic celebration back.
Yep. Anyways, Rowan O'Connor behind 0-1 now. And 0-2 now, the count. Cleary Simpson on deck. 4-0 Gulls lead it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. With a little shenanigans going on here in the 7th inning. I like that word, shenanigans. And a strikeout there.
And the pitcher's all smiles.
Oh yeah, he's milking this. He's looking at the crowd and he's trying to say, okay, I can do whatever I want and still come back and throw strikes. He strikes out Rowan O'Connor. And this will bring up Cleary Simpson.
Yeah, pretty big grin on his face. Having fun with it.
Yep.
Not here to be a fan favorite, that's for sure, in Corbin Talley.
No, he's not.
So Cleary Simpson, he's had a pretty solid night. 2 RBI double back in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. Looking to keep this inning going, and Talley's more worried about Simon Baker over at first than he is worried about what's at the plate.
Well, he's just playing catch with Carter Clarehout.
Yeah.
And he's going to come over there again. That's 9 throws over to first base.
Well, you almost wonder if he's purposely doing it now just to kind of agitate the crowd. I'm not sure. Getting the heads of the crowd, getting the heads of the Gulls maybe. And there's somebody warming up in the bullpen. So here comes the throw a little high. And we're getting word that's Tyler Pauly, number 29 in the bullpen for the Lethbridge Bulls. And that time it hits Cleary Simpson, so he's going to take his base.
And I don't think I've seen a hit batsman get that kind of applause from the crowd, but
and you take a look at the replay here, and yeah, just skins Cleary Simpson on the inside. So Cleary Simpson finally gets one of the calls going his way for a hit batsman, because he thought he had one earlier on tonight and didn't get the favorable call. This time he did.
This will bring up Trip Ray with runners on first and second, 1 down here, bottom of the 7th. 4-0 Sylvan Lake over Lethbridge. And the crowd's getting into this one. And that's well inside for a ball. As these two teams will most certainly face each other next week in the first round of the West Division playoffs in the WCBL. 2-0 the count on Trip Ray, who's been on base all 3 times tonight. A couple of walks and a solid double in the 5th inning. That misses inside. 3-0 the count now. And the fans are giving it to the pitcher, Talley. And throw over to first again.
Well, we've seen fans get a little carried away here at Gulls Field before. In fact, so carried away that
they got carried out.
They've had to be forcefully carried out. And
but in the defense, the 2 guys that we've seen thrown out of this, at least that I can recall, were not fans of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They were fans of the visiting team.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the same guy.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Both times.
Both times, yeah.
Yes, I'm not going to name the team because I don't want to. They were embarrassed as well. I remember talking to them afterwards and saying, yeah, that was not called for. Because he was wearing the sweater and the hat of the team that was visiting.
Yeah.
So.
And I remember the owner, Graham Schetzel, had to come and drag him out of here.
Yeah, he persuaded him to go down the ramp. Full count there on Trip Ray. And he's going to drop this one in front of the right fielder, Matsuzaki. And a little mistake there by Matsuzaki is going to cost them run number 5. As Trip Ray gets himself an RBI. Or will they count it as an RBI? No, they won't. They won't count that as an RBI, will they? But Simon Baker, after all those throws over to first and sliding back to first, still had enough in his legs to get him around the bases and into home plate. And I'm not sure what Ron Shuchuk is looking up at our scorer, and not sure what's going on there, but they're going to bring in another pitcher, or the Lethbridge Bulls. So while they make the change, we'll take a break and be back with more WCBL action here. Well, we are back. New pitcher on the mound for the Lethbridge Bulls. Their fourth pitcher this evening. This is Tyler Pauley. And he comes in with runners on first and third. One out, and first baseman Aiden Macaris steps in. Macaris 2 for 3, or 1 for 3, I should say. A couple of RBIs. And those RBIs came on an absolute bomb to dead center field, and one hopped off the fence right underneath the 400 foot mark.
Yeah. Well, Tyler Pauley, he's getting his 13th game of work this summer. He's got over 13 innings pitched. He's given up 14 walks. He's got 12 Ks. He's 0-2 with 1 save, and with an 0-2 record. And then he also has given up 13 hits, 17 runs, 11 of which were earned.
That misses outside. 3-0 the count on the first baseman Macaris, with Kyle Lewis, the center fielder, on deck. Lewis 0 for 2 on the night with a walk. And Macaris watches that go by for strike one. Bullpen's quiet on both sides. Oh. These guys, you gotta wait.
Yep.
You gotta wait.
Got a little excited there.
And Macaris gives a little nod to home plate umpire Connor Jocelyn. Like, yep, okay, sorry, man. They're not trying to show up the umpire. And that's grounded down to third base, and Macaris can move. And he beats that out, as it was kind of mishandled by Luke Wheatley.
So are they giving an error to the Bulls there is my question. I think they are. And yes, they are. They're going to credit that an error to the third baseman. So run scores on that error.
Yeah, and that's 3 RBIs on the night for Aiden Macaris. And we've got an explanation to Coach Jason Chatwood from the crew chief Ron Shuchuk. And I'm not sure what it is that he's explaining, because they did have a conversation when there was that incident discussion over at first base. Carter Clairhout and Brock Tiarina were having a verbal joust.
Yep.
And then Ron Shuchuk came over and broke everything up. I know you said, and I didn't see it, that a couple of Bulls players came off the bench.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And maybe that's what Coach Chatwood is maybe getting at. It's like, well, these guys came off the bench. Shouldn't they be tossed out? Oh, Cale, you might get this one. No.
That stays in.
No, it stayed in. I thought that was coming
The
here.
wind must have kept it in the ballpark there.
I thought that was coming our way.
I thought so too.
Or your way.
Well, I was sticking my hand out just to be safe.
Just to be safe, yeah. Don't knock the camera off.
Yeah, no doubt. Calvin won't be very happy with me if I did that.
No, he would not. I guarantee you. So 0-1 the count on Kyle Lewis. Base runners on first and second. One down. 5-0 lead. Or is that 6? That looks like 6. It is. And a base hit there by Kyle Lewis. Loads the bases now with one down.
That's a timely hit for Kyle Lewis, who's been pretty quiet all night and even a little bit of this summer too. And that's just something to give the guy some confidence, who's been struggling with the bat as of late. And a great base hit right up the left-hand side to left field. So Itai Okamoto's got a chance to do some more damage here for the Gulls. So found out that the man racing Snapman was taken by ambulance to the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Or sorry, just taken to the hospital, not by ambulance. Taken to the hospital, and he tore his hamstring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's
so, not good.
I know that feeling. I popped mine way, way back. And boy, I'll tell you, I could hear it when it went.
Gross.
And it was just, oh, man. That's grounded down to Clairhout at first. He's going to come home with it and get the force out at home. As Tripp Ray was moving on the hit, but not fast enough to beat the throw home for the second out. But the bases are still loaded as Yukamoto is over at first now on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Jaden Flores. Yeah, that didn't look good. I thought maybe he might have twisted his ankle or turned his ankle on the run.
Yep.
But no, he pulled the hammy and he pulled up right away.
Well, you could tell it just tightened up instantly on him there. He caught an edge and then he went overboard. So, yeah, not good.
I was watching the Gulls bench, and I can't see who that was, but they were making all sorts of motions like they were cooking something in their hat and stirring it and putting salt on it and then lighting a fire underneath it. I don't know what that means.
I think that's Mickey McCloskey.
Is that McCloskey?
It might be.
Oh. And Tai Yukamoto has a little bit of a collision there at second base with Steven Andrachik as the inning comes to an end on the force out there over at second. But the Gulls put 2 more runs on the board. They have a 6-0 lead as we are going to the top of the 8th.
Carter Clairhout steps into the batter's box to face this man on the mound. Leroy Tavares still on the mound, working away for the Gulls, holding on to a 6-0 lead against the Bulls. Top of 8. Gulls 6 outs away. Trying to hold on to this one. That pitch down and away. 2-1 the count to Clairhout. That was a 93-mile-per-hour pitch, too. Or maybe 1-1, sorry. Now it's 2-1. Pretty good crowd so far on a Friday night, I'd say. Hey, Joe or Jim?
I think so. I think so. It's been a nice night for baseball the last 3 nights.
Yeah, sure has.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous shot of the field. Cloudy though, not like the sun. The sun hasn't been shining for a while, but it's staying warm. That's the main thing for the fans here at Gulls Field. And there's a strikeout for Leroy Tavares. Carter Clairhout goes down looking one more time tonight. That's his 3rd strikeout on the evening.
That's right.
And I was talking to him this tonight about last night. And he said, yeah, I didn't do anything with the bat last night. And he wasn't really happy with how he performed with the bat last night. I'm sure he's probably not very happy with how he's performing tonight with only the 1 base hit back in the 6th.
I see the competing flora and fauna out in the outfield there are back again. The palm tree and the Christmas tree.
Yeah. A couple people enjoying the camping.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This week has been perfect for that. If you're, and the campground is there's a lot of trailers out there. That's
Absolutely.
for sure. Friends of ours from Calgary were up here last week, and they brought friends of theirs, their neighbors actually, and this is lifted out into right field, and a bit of a delay. I don't think that Jaden Flores saw that ball off the bat.
He must not have. And Clary Simpson thought he was going to get there in time. And just a tough play there for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, as I'm sure you're watching on your screen right now.
Yeah, we're
folks, we're a little blind up here because our monitor in the broadcast booth decided to kind of give out early on. That was the technical difficulties we were facing. So we'll hopefully have it ready for you tomorrow night when Energy City Cactus Rats come to town. Just things may be overheating and in this hot weather that we're starting to get.
So what I was getting at with regards to the campers and the RV park being nice and full, a nice pitch there by Tavares has Andrechik all tied up. The friends came up and their friends, and their friends brought this massive trailer, and it was like a house.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! It had a TV that came up from underneath the counter.
Jeez.
It had an island. It had 2.
That is something.
One of those massage chairs.
Okay.
I had to pry my wife out of them, and she's like, I'm not leaving. And a strikeout by Leroy Tavares, who's had a much better 8th inning than he did the 7th. And he's come to work here in the 8th inning. But anyways, I'm thinking, I'm not a big camper.
No.
But that would be like taking your home on wheels and just, okay. Big bedroom, bathroom, beautiful lighting. This is Anthony Gilbert. Fires a strike over to first base and gets the speedy Brendan McIntosh, or McTavish, I said, to bring the inning to a close. The Gulls are coming to bat with a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Anthony Gilbert will step in now to face the new pitcher. This is Shane McTavish. Could be the brother of Brennan McTavish, maybe the center fielder.
Potentially,
I don't know.
yeah.
Potentially. So
Both are from Lethbridge. That would make sense.
now, if the Gulls win tonight, that'll put the series even as 4-4, right?
That is correct. Yep.
So the tiebreaker, if they finish exactly tied here in the run for second place, the Gulls currently, it'll be on runs for and against, and the Gulls are currently 10 up on the Lethbridge Bulls. But they have to end up tied.
Yeah, exactly. And
in the standings.
And I believe we mentioned that Lethbridge Bulls will have 2 games in hand in the next 4 days, somehow.
But
there's a doubleheader in there somewhere, maybe, as that's a strikeout on Anthony Gilbert. So yeah, no, that's it's good to know.
And I think there's other factors that play into the tiebreaker, but that's the first one. Is there's no rolling dice or rock paper scissors kind of thing, and then there is a coin flip with no rock paper scissors or trivia contest or. They should make it interesting. They should all have their fastest guy race Snapman.
Yeah.
But then after seeing that poor fan
you don't want to
hurt himself,
yeah, no doubt.
you don't want any of your players
Yikes.
racing Snapman.
That's always the worry about when they do the Snapman race, is that if you're racing Snapman, you don't have time to warm up or get loose or stretch or anything like that. You're running cold, and sometimes your hamstrings, your muscles can just instantly go like that, and obviously for that poor man it did. And obviously our thoughts are with him right now as he's getting looked after at the local hospital in Red Deer.
Simon Baker is in to face the new pitcher, McTavish.
So as we take a look at the schedule for the Lethbridge Bulls, they will play tomorrow night against the Okotoks Dogs. That's going to be their toughest opponent that they're going to have to play for the rest of the season. They'll then take on Brooks for a pair of games on Sunday and Monday before wrapping things up on Tuesday against Swift Current.
Oh, so they're playing Tuesday.
Yeah, and they're playing in Swift Current on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, interesting stuff. We believe there might be a postponed game against Okotoks that's not on the schedule still to take place. And if that's the case, then you would think doubleheader would go down tomorrow night, but they don't have it scheduled that way yet. So maybe they're not making up that game. I don't know.
Who knows? Well, the Gulls will be watching the scoreboard then to see how things go, but they can only do what they can do that's in their control, and that's this game right here. And at this point, a 6-0 lead seems to be in control, but never say never, which is a silly saying, but because you're saying never twice. But I know what they mean. 2-2 the count to Simon Baker. That misses down low for a ball. That's a good point Calvin Bellows just made. With them playing on Tuesday, it will go right into the playoffs. So no day off for this team, as they will play their way right through until the playoffs, it looks like. So a walk to Simon Baker with one down here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
It's a completely different game than what we saw last night, isn't it? Here at Gulls Field between the Bulls and the Gulls. The Bulls, they played so tightly defensively and offensively that there's no room for the Gulls to get any kind of life, even to get a free pass on base. And already tonight I've seen more walks and more hit batsmen for the Bulls than I have, and errors too. I mean, they had 0 errors last night as well. Now they got 2 tonight. So it's one of those nights for Lethbridge, just not as complete of a game as they put on to last night.
Brooks Bachman comes into bat for Clary Simpson here in the bottom of the 8th.
Wouldn't this be for Matty?
Oh, for
Rowan
Rowan O'Connor.
This will be the 5th change as the DH tonight. They're rotating DHs like it's, well, free candy, I guess.
Free candy? Who said free candy?
I don't know,
what?
but I want some.
Who's got it?
Well, I don't know. Not me.
Oh, and 2 the count on Bachman with Cleary Simpson on deck. Yeah, they're getting everybody a few swings here at DH. Junior Tavares, Matty Fung, Rowan O'Connor, and now Brooks Bachman. And he kind of waves at that one, but they say, nope, he did not go around. 1 and 2 the count with 1 down. Simon Baker, the base runner, over at first. And a swing and a miss on that off-speed pitch by Shane McIntosh. And he's got 2 strikeouts here in the 8th inning coming in as pitcher number 5 for the Lethbridge Bulls. Cleary Simpson, who got the ball rolling with a 2-run double in the 3rd inning. And he's made some very good defensive plays as well. He's been on base 3 of his 4 times at bat. Hit by a pitch, walked, and the RBI double.
Quickly down 0-2 right now.
Yep.
As the Bulls have sent 5 pitchers to the mound tonight. Shane McTavish being number 5, and I would think this will be his night to close out.
And that misses down low, 1 and 2 now. Two down, 6-0 Gulls here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking to move into a 2nd place tie with the Lethbridge Bulls. I don't know that they'll be able to catch the Okotoks Dogs. We'll find out. Dogs are going to have to lose 1, and then the Gulls will have to take the next 2 from them to even have a shot. But I think Okotoks has some games coming as well. So the Gulls season will end on Monday.
Yep.
With their game.
Against Okotoks, an afternoon game too, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it an
matinee
afternoon game?
Well, yeah, it's a holiday Monday, so
get out.
It's a matinee game, afternoon. So definitely mark that on your calendars. 2 o'clock. Be here if you can.
Good thing, because
Take
I
in
was
the
going to
last
be
game.
here around 6.
Well, yeah, I would have already been like, well, thanks for coming, Jim, but I already called it.
Yeah. How did it go?
Yeah.
And a base hit by Cleary Simpson. And Simon Baker, he can move it too.
He sure can. I mean, he just stutter steps as he's rounding 2nd, and then he just turns on the jets to get full power in those legs. But a great hit here by Cleary Simpson. Finds the gap between 2nd and 1st, and then lifts it into right field. That gets Simon Baker 90 feet away from scoring distance. And, you know, at this point, just piling on the runs for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, giving themselves a real nice cushion. They can score at least 1 more or 2 more before the 9th inning. So here's Trip Ray now, leading things off. Gulls out hitting the Bulls tonight, 9-5. Bulls with 2 errors tonight, Gulls with 1. If you're just tuning in now, it's been quite the game. It's totally different from what we saw last night, and things may be getting a little heated between these 2 teams as they get set for potentially the little bit of a trailer to the postseason, if you will. what we could be seeing in just a week, less than a week's time. Wednesday night, it all goes down. Not sure where it's going to be, whether it'll be in Sylvan, whether it'll be in Lethbridge.
Well, Trip Ray at the plate, 2-1 to count. Cleary Simpson over at first, and Simon Baker, the base runner, at third. Gulls with a 6-0 lead. That misses outside, 3-1 now. And Shane McIntosh, a couple of strikeouts, but then he's given up a hit and a walk. Here in the bottom of the 8th. And that's popped, and that's going to go out of play and into the stands. And there, this young man just flips the ball to a young girl, and she's quite happy. She's got herself a baseball.
Yep. Gotta love going home with a souvenir. Really cool story. You know, speaking of that, so Matty Fung's home run. A little boy retrieves the ball. And guess what he does? He returns the ball to Matty Fung. And Matty said, no, are you sure? Like, this could be, and he says to Matty, this could be your last home run as a Gull.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah. But Rob Fung thought that was the nicest thing and the most, considerate thing a kid could do.
Like, how does a little guy think about like that?
Right?
You know?
I mean, I thought that was incredible. So Rob Fung's got the baseball. Matty signed it, and they've kept it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope it's not his last home run, but
no, of course not. But
yeah.
It's a thoughtful gesture, regardless.
It is.
I mean, it's not meaning to sound like a stinger to Matty Fung. It's more just to say, you got a memory going home with from Sylvan Lake, as this is lifted into left shallow center field, and that's going to score yet another run. So the Gulls go up 7-0 now over the Lethbridge Bulls and keep this 2-out rally alive.
And Trip Ray he took one, he fouled one off of himself, and then steps back in, and the next pitch he sees, he sends into that little dead zone there and scores Simon Baker from third base easily.
Trip Ray's 3 for 3 on the night with the bat. Wow. An RBI, a double, and 2 singles. And he walked both times in the second and third and came around to score a run. So he's been on base all 5 times. He's stepped up to the plate. He's having a pretty good night offensively.
He's having a good night.
And a little meeting on the mound here. So some more warming up going on in the Bulls bullpen. We should just say the Bulls pen, because pretty much that's what it is. And it's 25 by the looks of it that is warming up. Adrian Marquez getting loose. So they're going to try to allow this pitcher in, Shea McTavish, to get himself out of this jam. But if he can't, for whatever reason, they'll have Adrian Marquez ready at the go.
The first baseman, number 24, Aiden Macris.
And Aiden Macris has had himself a pretty good night. 3 RBIs. They only gave him the 1 hit, as the other one was an error by the third baseman. He fouls that first pitch back, as the Gulls are piling it on. And a called strike there on Macris. Yeah, missing outside. 1-2 the count, 2 down. Base runners over at first and third. Ten hits on the night for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And a strikeout there, so McTavish strikes out the side, but gets rung up for another run. That's 7 on the night for the Gulls. We are through 8 complete, top of 9 coming up.
Well, it's a beautiful night here at Gulls Field, and it's a comfortable one for the fans to take it in. The weather just so nice right now, and it's a comfortable lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls heading to the top of the 9th inning as they lead at 7-0. Only having to send 2 pitchers to the mound tonight, and Josh Tucker starting things out, got the job done, and then, of course, this guy, Leroy Tavares, has been working wonders ever since then and has not given the Bulls anything. So it's up to this man to close things out. He's up 0-2 quickly.
That's Luke Wheatley at the plate. He fouls that back. Wheatley with a 0-for-2 night. Got on an error to Cleary Simpson, which is basically the only blemish on Mr. Simpson's record tonight. As he's got a couple of hits, he got the things rolling. He drove in the as it stands at this point the winning runs, or the winning run. And he's made some really good defensive plays. Ran the bases well. There you go. A good night all around by the Elnora product. 2-2 now on Wheatley. Ben Simmons and then J.C. Spinoza. But I don't think it's going to be Ben Simmons, as I see a pinch hitter in there on the on decks. I was going to say circle, but there is no circle. But a strikeout there by Leroy Tavares as he gets Luke Wheatley. That's Tavares' 3rd strikeout. Fourth strikeout, sorry, since coming in for Josh Tucker. So the Gulls saving their arms. The Bulls, however, use 5 pitchers tonight.
They sure have, yeah. This is a pinch hitter for the Bulls, Dalen Blanchard. As Dalen Blanchard coming in from Magnolia, Southern Arkansas University sophomore.
So a good night of ball for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, as they have capitalized on mistakes, but they've also capitalized on their own base hits by running the bases properly, which I'm sure makes Coach Chatwood very happy. And strikeout again by Leroy Tavares.
Yeah, he's going to work, isn't he? He's feeling it tonight.
He challenges himself.
He sure does.
He sees what Josh Tucker does, and he says, I'm coming on, I'm going to step in those shoes, and I'm going to do the same thing. And when he doesn't, that just gets him more amped up, and he goes, okay, now I really got to bear down.
A combined 13 Ks for both these pitchers tonight. Absolutely good stuff yet again.
Yeah, and that is boding well for the Gulls as they head into the playoffs in about 4 days here. Is that the pitching staff is doing the job. The bats are coming to life. The defense is there, as we've seen. Tai Yukamoto, Anthony Gilbert, Cleary Simpson, Jaden Flores, Tiarina, Kyle Lewis. Over at first, all the first basemen have been solid. Like, it's just, they're coming together and at the right time, and maybe that's it. They're going to peak just when a team needs to peak.
Yeah.
3-1 the count here, though, on J.C. Spinoza. And a nice pitch there by Leroy Tavares makes the count full now.
Yep.
Bulls down to their last strike.
It's been a good night. It's been a really good night. A good bounce back for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. This is the night that they needed. And, you know, with being tied in the 2nd division, this gets them right back in the lead as this grounds over to Anthony Gilbert with the strong throw. And the Gulls do it. They defeat the Lethbridge Bulls 7-0 and take back 2nd place in the West.
Well, that was another good effort there by the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they bounce back from a a kind of a mediocre effort the night before in a 4-2 loss. And they came back and were solid and full marks for their 7-0 win. 10 hits tonight. 4 runs in the third, and then 2 in the sixth and 1 in the seventh.
Well, the thing is they didn't.
Or 1 in the seventh, 2 in the seventh, 1 in the eighth.
Yeah, and the thing is they didn't give up as much as they did last night.
No.
I mean, they still gave up the walks. They did hit a batsman. They did do those things, but defensively they bared down and they closed the door when they needed to and not gave the Bulls any chance of life. So we'll hand things down to Jared Waldo with our player of the game.
Player of the game, ladies and gentlemen, Cleary Simpson. Cleary, that was a great bounce back game from last night. Talk about the performance of your team tonight.
Oh, it was awesome. Tucker set the tone right away. Leroy came in and did what he does, and yeah, we just battled all night. Great energy. It was awesome.
You know, if we look at the standings, we can see that this could be a potential first-round matchup. Two good teams, as we mentioned last night, and again tonight going at it. What is it about these two teams that just bring out the best in you?
Oh, I think it's a good match. They got a good team there. We, yeah, a lot of energy. The fans were great tonight. It's going to be a really fun series.
Well, we still have a few more games to go. Tomorrow night is a big one. Tomorrow night, Fan Appreciation Night. You've been part of this Gulls organization in the past and again now. What can you say about these fans here in Sylvan Lake?
Oh, it makes it so easy coming to the park every day. Yeah, we're just super grateful for you guys. It's awesome.
Well, thank you very much. Congrats on the win. Let's do it again tomorrow. All right. Your EG Auctions player of the game, Cleary Simpson.
Well, there you have it. Cleary Simpson, just a great night for him. You know, he scored 2 runs himself. He had knocked in 2 runs. He went 2 for 3 at the plate. Just all in all, he had a great night himself, but so did the rest of the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they got it done when they needed to, racking up 7 runs on the night, Jim.
Turn your mic on, James. Dun, dun. Anyway, that was exactly the formula. I mean, everything came together. They got the defense, they got the pitching, they got the hitting, they got the base running, they got whatever you want. They got a little animosity going with the Lethbridge Bulls. That didn't take long to get going, and it'll get probably even more intense next week when these two teams probably meet in the playoffs.
It sure will, and you know that's just the way it goes for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they got the win too, and they regained second place in the Western Division. Just a beautiful night here at Gulls Field, as you know, as we mentioned, Josh Tucker got things started the right way, and then a little error to Lethbridge kind of maybe turned things. We saw a little bit of the disco moves that Jim Claggett showed us here in the broadcast booth. He was good about pointing. Look at that. Oh my goodness, the pointer. That's a Jim Claggett move, and so did Sully think so too. I think he had a good point on that one as well. But just overall, it was a great night here at the ballpark. Other than that guy didn't have such a great night. He ended up in the hospital, and we hope he's doing okay. But at the end of the day, the Sylvan Lake Gulls regain second place. They'll get ready to take on Energy City back here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock pitch. For Jim Claggett, the broadcast crew at Green Onion Media, I'm Cale Clark with another Bird's Eye View. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.